So I'm going to do my final video here for first-time travelers to Istanbul. Um, this video is basically going to talk about the Wi-Fi situation in Istanbul, some additional resources you can use in planning your trip, um, some tips about Turkish food, and restaurant suggestions as well. Even though in the previous video, the second video I made about where to eat and giving you the suggestion of using culinary backstreets, there are gonna be some people who are gonna say, "Well, there's so many restaurants here. We don't know which one to go to. Do you have any favorites?" Well, I do have some favorites for which I've been to. That's why I highly recommend culinary backstreets. Uh, so I'll give those suggestions as well. So to start off with, the Wi-Fi situation in Istanbul is quite good. All hotels and I would say most, if not all, restaurants in Istanbul have Wi-Fi. So if you don't want to use your roaming data or the data on the local SIM card plans you bought from either Turkcell, Vodafone, or Turk Telecom, no need to worry. Wi-Fi was widespread in Turkey and widespread in Istanbul, widespread in Turkey as well. It's not available like on the street in some cities are rolling out for public Wi-Fi, but all hotels and most, if not all, restaurants will have Wi-Fi. The only place where Wi-Fi is not good in Istanbul, ironically, happens to be Istanbul Airport. The only way to access the free Wi-Fi in Istanbul Airport, and the free Wi-Fi is only for an hour, just to let you know, is you have to have the Istanbul Airport app, in which I guess you enter, from what I remember, you enter in your mobile or cell number. You then receive a text message, which you then have to click on, which then activates the Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi connection, unfortunately, is not very fast. And the whole kind of process is not very user-friendly. So I would highly suggest, if at Istanbul Airport, to use your any roaming data you have, or use the data which you have from your SIM cards if you bought them in Turkey, if you have the Turkcell, Vodafone, or Turk Telecom SIM cards. Now, for any additional resources, travel resources, the two travel resources which I found very helpful, especially on my first trip and subsequent trips, are two things. One, obviously, is Lonely Planet. The Lonely Planet Istanbul has a specific guide for Istanbul. It is very good. It gives you information about ticket prices in their websites also. For the various attractions. It gives kind of itineraries in here as well, what you can do day to day. It's a good resource. The thing which I would not suggest would be not to listen to the restaurant suggestions here. Follow culinary backstreets. I think that's the best guide for restaurants in Istanbul. It also has recommendations for hotels as well, but like I said, it's up to you what type of hotel you want to stay in, basically, what type of accommodation you want. I give suggestions for various hotels in Sultan Hamid as well. The other resource which I use, especially the first time I went, and it has very interesting and good information in it, it's a website called turkeytravelplanner.com. It is run by an individual who used to write the Lonely Planet review, the Lonely Planet books on Turkey and Istanbul. So he's made this website where he gives all his tips and information. It's a good resource. I'll put the exact web address, not in the video, but in the comment section of the video. Sorry, in the description of the video. I'll put the web address there. Now, some tips about Turkish food. Turkish food is one of my favorite cuisines. I absolutely love it. It is very tasty. It's fairly similar to a lot of the dishes are very similar to Pakistani food, especially kebabs, some of the desserts, um, some of the drinks as well. It's delicious. It is primarily meat based, but they have a lot of vegetarian dishes as well. If you don't want to eat particularly meat dishes, the main type of drinks they have, obviously they have, you can get bottled water. Uh, they freshly squeezed juices, especially orange juice, which I particularly like in Turkey. Uh, Pomegranate or anar juice as well. Uh, and they have a drink called ayran, which is, for my Pakistani viewers, ayran is lassi. They won't have it in different flavors like they have in Pakistan, but it will just be a plain, lassi basically. That is particularly good if you're having kebabs. I highly recommend that if you're having kebabs, have ayran along with it. For those of you who drink alcohol, they have all sorts of different. Turkey has a fairly large winemaking industry, so they do have Turkish wines there. I personally don't drink, so I can't recommend a Turkish wine uh, for you. They do have beer there. The local beer is called Efes. Once again, I've never drank it, so I can't comment on it. Now, the national alcoholic drink of Turkey, I can only comment it on how my friends have drank it and their comments, and they like it quite a bit. It's called rake. So what rake is that it is a clear alcohol. They will bring it to you if you order, they'll bring it to the table. So it's very highly, apparently the alcohol content is very high in it. So they bring it in a small glass, and in the glass you're supposed to put ice and water to dilute the alcohol, which then turns the liquid from a clear to a milky color. My friends who've drank it speak very highly of it. For my American viewers, I think it's fairly similar to there's a Greek and Lebanese alcoholic drink, which is almost exactly the same type of composition, I think. So if you drink alcohol, that would be the suggestion to do. Now, for my Pakistani viewers, there is a tendency to think that Turkish food is not very spicy. It's pika. I need some hot sauce to put on this. Don't go in with that assumption. The most Turkish food is not like Iranian food or other Arab foods like Lebanese, where it's completely bland. They do have masala in it. It's fairly similar to Afghan food, or obviously food you can find in Balochistan and Pakhtunkhwa. That's the type of kebabs you will get. But you will, if you get Adana kebab, is the most spiciest kebab I've ever had, even more spicy and hot than any kebab I've ever eaten in Pakistan. So yes, the Turks do eat very spicy food as well with regards to their kebabs. So it's their Turkish food is not pika. Obviously, and the main street type of food, which anyone will get, will be, you can get if you don't want to get roasted corn or samit. The main kind of main street food they have there is doner kebab, or depending on where you're from, it's called gyro in Greece, or mostly in Europe, or in the Arab countries it's called shawarma. But doner kebab is very good. If you go to a place, some of these small restaurants have both lamb and chicken doners on the spits there, freshly made. And you can tell if it's freshly made. If you go in the morning, you can tell it's freshly made because it's been on the spit there, and it's very big, and you can tell. Very tasty if you get a doner kebab sandwich for lunch. So now I'm going to give you some restaurant suggestions. I'll put the information. Some of the restaurants will have websites. Like I said, I'll put it in the information below the video in the video information area. Some of them will not have websites. Some of them will have article links linked to the Culinary Backstreet's website, which I will put there also. Before I get into that, Turkish desserts are out of this world. Be it baklava, sütlaç, künefe is one of my favorites. You have to have Turkish desserts there. They also have a dessert called Kemal Pasha Tatlisi, which is a favorite, which basically for my Pakistani viewers is gulab jamun. So, and sütlaç is kheer. So, very similar desserts and halwa as well. So, three desserts which are exactly the same you'll get in Pakistan, you'll get it in Turkey, in halwa, Kemal Pasha Tatlisi, and sütlaç. So, now for my restaurant suggestions. Restaurants kind of all over the place. These are all from Culinary Backstreets, with the exception of two suggestions. Part of the problem with Sultan Hamid is that most of most if not all of the restaurants are tourist trap restaurants there. But Culinary Backstreets does a good job of picking the ones which are less tourist trap restaurants, and there are a few in Sultan Hamid which give suggestions for. I will tell you the two I've been to. I've not been to the other ones as of yet. Some of the other restaurants are not in Sultan Hamid. They could be in Karakoy, so you might take a trip to the Asian side, or they could be in the Beşiktaş or Taksim or Ortaköy area. Is one of my suggestions. All right. So the first restaurant suggestion I have is a restaurant called Adana Uz Asmatlı. It is basically a restaurant which serves nothing but Adana kebab. So when you go there, you have to recognize, service at Turkish restaurants is very, very fast. It is very, very fast. So you will not be waiting for your food. So basically, they will. The food there is Adana kebab. The specialty, the house specialty is Adana kebab. So when you bring you Adana kebab, they'll bring it with lavash. Or for my American viewers, from Pakistani viewers, it's almost like a chapati. They're bringing it along with shredded onions, so you can top it and tear a piece of the lavash or chapati and scoop up a piece of the Adana kebab with onion and eat it. Very tasty. It's very good. I really enjoyed it. It was from Sultan Hamid. It's about an hour. It took me about an hour away. It's in Karakoy. So I had to take the tram from Sultan Hamid to Sirkeci. In Sirkeci, I had to take the Marmaray. Now the good thing is that this Marmaray, where the Marmaray stop is for the restaurant from the stop it's like a 2 or 3 minute walk. So it's very, very close by. You don't have to walk far. Ultimately, you'll have to use Google Maps to give you the pinpoint directions of where to go. So make sure you do that. But excellent Adana kebab. And it takes about an hour to get, a little less than an hour to get there. I went during rush hour, which is an experience quite in itself on the Marmaray. So if you go during rush hour, you'll experience that. The second suggestion I have is this is one of the two Sultan Hamid suggestions I have. Is a place called Tarihi Sultan Hamid Küftecizi. This is one of the most famous places for kuftas in Istanbul. It's very good. Most of the restaurants I'm giving you, by the way, are for the exception of one, are kind of hole-in-the-wall places. It's very good. So you have the order of, the menu. They just serve kufta, and I think they also serve lamb kebab as well, if I remember correctly. You can get a salad, bean salad there, and the dessert is very good. The dessert you'll either get from Kemal Pasha Tatlisi or gulab jamun or halwa, basically suji kahab for my Pakistani viewers. Very good. You can carry out from there as well, so you don't have to sit in the restaurant if you don't want to. Um, so that you can do. Um, you can order one serving or two servings if you want more koftas. So keep that in mind. The other Sultan Hamid restaurant suggestion I have, it's a small pastry shop called Chetan Pastanesi. It's not far from Sultan Hamid Küftecizi, sorry. It's close by. It's right on Divan Yolu, as the same with Sultan Hamid Küftecizi. Oh, before I go any further, make sure you go to the correct restaurant. There are other imitation type restaurants with similar type of names. There's one called Mashur Sultan Hamid Küftecizi, but you want to go to Tarihi Sultan Hamid Küftecizi. They have a website. I'll put the website link there, and also use the address from Culinary Backstreets as well. Chetan Pastanesi basically is a pastry shop. They serve pastries, all types of Turkish desserts, chai, juice, sandwiches, and in the morning you can get breakfast there. I've never had breakfast there, but at least from the menu looks quite good. So if you, let's say you don't want to have dessert at the restaurant you're going, you want to go back to Sultan Hamid and have dessert there, or chai, you can do so. This place will speak. They do have English. The waiters and there will speak English. It's probably the only restaurant. This is kind of a little bit more tourists go there, so they do speak English. So that's one advantage as compared to the other restaurant. As compared to the other kind of restaurants I'm going to suggest here. The other two places are places in the Grand Bazaar. So these are places, if you're going to the Grand Bazaar for shopping, these are two places you could easily go for lunch. The first suggestion is a place called Unum. So Unum is right outside the Grand, right before the entrance, one of the entrances of the Grand Bazaar. The entrance is the Nura Osmania entrance. This is the entrance to go where the basically where the carpet sellers are at. It's a very tiny place. They have kind of like a tiny kind of bench in front of the restaurant where they have like condiments where you can put on your durum. So durum basically is a wrap. It's a kebab wrap basically. If there's no room there, they do have like tables fairly close by. If you just sit down and a waiter will come and you give the waiter the order. It's very good. I had an Adana kebab, durum or wrap. It's excellent. It's very good. It's a very good place to go. Kind of see. I believe one of the money changing old money changing areas is there because you hear people shouting and whatnot. So it gives a good atmosphere there. So this is very good. The other restaurant suggestion in the Grand Bazaar, it's called Gaziantep Burç Ocakbaşı. Basically, it serves food from the Gaziantep area, which is one of the main centers of gastronomical centers of Turkey. The food is very good. The owner is very, very nice. My son has a Turkish middle name, but then with Erkan. So when we told the owner that, the owner brought his son out, whose name happened to be Erkan, and the two Erkans and the owner took a picture with together, which is very nice. Very good food. It's kind of located closer to the a place where you can buy knockoff and imitation bags from. But you'll have to look for it in, let's say, type it in, if you're somewhere in the Grand Bazaar, type it into Google Maps. That will probably take you there. Or ask one of the shopkeepers, show them the name of the restaurant, and show it to one of the shopkeepers, and the shopkeepers will be good enough to show you where the restaurant is. So these are the two restaurants which you want to go if you're going to the Grand Bazaar. The other one suggestion of one of my absolute favorite restaurants, which I found out from Culinary Backstreets. It's wonderful. It's a restaurant called Shahzade Uzuddin Chal Kebab. So chal kebab basically is, so doner kebab, a shawarma or a gyro or whatever you want to call it. I prefer to call it doner kebab. Um, the meat is on a vertical spit. This one, it's basically that, but it's on a horizontal spit. So if you're inside the restaurant, you'll be able to see it there, or you can maybe even see it from the window as well. Out of this world. They don't give you the cuts as in a doner kebab or shawarma. The cuts are cuts are a little smaller, but very tasty. It's very good. Make sure you ask for 2 portions. 1 portion will not be enough because they go through it very quickly. So it's the same thing. They will give you condiments, small lavash bread or chapati bread, onions, small kind of shepherd salad, or for my Pakistani viewers, kachumar, small clay potted yogurt as well. Drinks as well. You can order drinks as well. You must have the dessert there. I don't remember the name of the dessert, but it is basically it's some type of phyllo stuffed with walnuts and syrup. It's very tasty. The dessert is as good as the chal kebab there. So you don't miss this. This is located close to the Circuit Marmaray station. So from there it's walking distance. But once again, use Google Maps to guide you there. But it's worth going to. It's very good. For the other suggestion is for obviously I've talked about Karakoy Guluolu before, and that it's basically a cafe. You can go there as the best baklava in Istanbul. As a cafe, it's located in Karakoy. I did give you kind of a suggestion that's at the Karakoy tram stop, and from there you can go to Karakoy Guluolu and sit at the cafe and order one of the desserts on the menu with chai or coffee, along with buying your baklava as well. And the final choice, as suggested by my friend, is in Ortaköy is the House Cafe. I've already described the House Cafe in the earlier video about the Ortaköy area along with Dolmabahce Palace. Once again, excellent breakfast there, excellent views of the Bosphorus Sea, the Bosphorus Straits, and of course, views of the Bosphorus Bridge from there and the Ortaköy Masjid Mosque as well. So that is it for this series of videos about first-time travelers to Istanbul. As I said, I will make future videos for Baku and Washington DC, New York City. I might do one for Pakistan as well. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope these videos will be informative and helping you in planning your trip to Istanbul. And if you have any questions, I'm on Twitter, so I can put my Twitter handle will be listed below. So if you have any questions, you can tweet me, and I'll be more than happy to help you. I hope if you're planning to go to Istanbul when the coronavirus crisis is over, I hope you enjoy your stay, and do let me know how your visit is. Thank you.